Tenet has arrived just in time to save cinemas. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Ashley and this is Ashley Talks Movies. Welcome to my channel. Really excited, brand new movie review for you. Today I'm going to be talking about Tenet. Yes, Christopher Nolan's latest film has arrived in theaters and it's here to save cinemas, apparently. There's a lot to talk about with this movie. So before I get into the full review, do me a favor while you're here, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos, and also hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new video is posted. Okay, so let's talk Tenet. So I'm not going to attempt to describe the plot of Tenet because that wouldn't do the film justice, and also it would probably take me way too long because this movie is very complex. And to try to describe the plot, I'd probably accidentally share some spoilers, and I don't do spoilers here. Basically, I'm just going to read what the official synopsis is listed on IMDb. Armed with only one word, Tenet, fighting for the survival of the entire world, a protagonist journeys through a twilight world of international espionage on a mission that will unfold in something beyond real time. So yeah, that's kind of vague, which kind of fits the movie because, as I mentioned before, it's a very complex movie, but at the same time, it's very, very much a Christopher Nolan film in that things are slowly revealed to you as the story unfolds. Christopher Nolan likes his mystery. I would describe this movie as a puzzle. And there's little pieces that get revealed to you at the beginning, and as the movie goes on, those pieces start to come together, and then towards the end, if you're paying attention and if you get most of it, all the pieces start to fall into place and you start to understand. I don't think this movie will be for everyone because there's a lot going on in this movie, even from the beginning. And some people might find it slow, but even from the beginning, there's a lot of world building. Some things are vague. There's clues here and there, as I mentioned before, like little pieces here and there are kind of thrown out. And I mean, you really just have to kind of watch and pay attention so that when you get towards the end or you get to the end, more of it will make sense to you. I was completely engrossed in this movie because of that. I like movies like that. I like movies that make you think. I like movies that don't put everything out there on the surface. And I like Christopher Nolan films, and this is definitely a case where you have to kind of, you have to pay attention, you have to stick with it. I don't even think I fully understand all of Tenet, and I feel like it's one of those movies that you need to watch a second or third time to fully understand it, or to at least get to a point where you understand most of it. A lot of this film, towards the beginning especially, when you're just sort of being introduced to these characters and you're just being introduced to this world and a lot of things aren't really explicitly said, a lot of parts of this movie are at times incomprehensible. And that's mostly because you just don't know what's going on. Like, characters say things, but you don't quite know what that means yet. Characters do things, you don't quite know why they're doing that yet. Things happen and you don't quite understand why they're happening or the motivations behind it. But again, those are little pieces that are sort of thrown out there, and that will start to make sense once the movie continues on. Christopher Nolan loves to play with time, and that's especially true with Tenet. Most people might say, time travel is a thing, but for the sake of this movie, it's called inversion, and the movie kind of delves deeper into that, so I'm not going to try to explain it here. But time is really important in the film. And, time is a concept as well as, there's like literal expressions of time in that there are clocks in certain scenes. There are watches, characters wear watches and they're constantly looking at their watch for reasons. The score here for Tenet is amazing. It is amazing. I really like the score here. I love what the composer did, and also too, I love how the music meshes so well with what you're seeing on screen, like in the action sequences, which I'll talk about in a little bit. to even sort of the quieter moments. The music hits the beat so well. Talking about action sequences, these are some of the best action sequences I've seen in a Christopher Nolan film, truly. And I think what makes them so remarkable is the way that they connect with the story. So, inversion is happening. So in certain scenes, characters are moving in one direction and objects are moving in another, or sometimes characters are moving in one direction and other characters are moving in another direction. And so when you have a fight scene or an action sequence where those things are happening, I was sitting there watching it, and so many times I kept thinking, like, how did they do that? Or like, that's really cool, because again, it's the sequences are just really, really amazing. And well choreographed, and even just the way that they're shot, a lot of it looks very much like practical effects instead of a lot of like CGI and things like that. And it's very well done. The acting here is also really, really great. John David Washington plays the protagonist, and that is what his character is, as well as what his character's name is. So he's called the protagonist, and he is the protagonist. And he does a really great job in this film with this character and everything. Robert Pattinson's also in this movie. He does a fantastic job with his character. Elizabeth Debicki is also in this film. She's fantastic, and she's given a lot of depth. Her character is given a lot to do, surprisingly, because I mean, from most of the trailers and things, John David Washington's character is the lead character, but she has a more significant role than I had expected or anticipated, and she does a fantastic job. Kenneth Branagh is sort of like the antagonist, sort of a villain in this movie, and I'm not like a huge fan of his, but I actually liked what he did with the character here. There are times where he's playing it up a little too much with the accent and things, but for the most part, he does a really great job with the performance, and I actually found him menacing, more so than, sort of like a laughable, over-the-top kind of character, especially like this kind of character when you're talking about like a villain. I don't think Tenet is Christopher Nolan's best film, but I did find it really enjoyable. In fact, I mean, I was completely engrossed in the movie, as I mentioned before. I think because mostly I like that mystery element to it. I like having to put pieces together. So the whole time I was watching it, I was like, is this a clue? What does this mean? What's the significance of that? What are they doing here? I wonder if that's going to be important later. I like those kinds of movies. It keeps me engaged. But not everybody will like that kind of movie, because as I mentioned before, especially in the first half of this movie, a lot of things are incomprehensible just because you don't quite know what's going on. You don't quite know what things mean. But I imagine if you watch the movie a second time, or once it comes out on Blu-ray or something, you can watch it with subtitles to kind of get a better sense of what they're saying. But overall, Tenet is enjoyable. I thought it was a really cool movie. I really liked the look and feel of this film. I love the action sequences. The acting is great. The story, again, is complex, probably a little more complex than it needed to be. But I did enjoy sort of unraveling the mystery of it. I don't think I completely understood everything that was happening in Tenet. I'm kind of okay with that. I'm kind of, in the place where I just kind of want everything to sort of marinate a little bit, and then maybe watch it a second time to see if more things make sense to me. So anyway, that is my review on Tenet. Let me know what you think about the film in the comment section below. While you're here, like this video, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe.